So this is going to be a simple Mo early tutorial. First thing you want to do is make sure you're on top of the castles. And yeah, there's going to be two methods. There's going to be an easy method and a hard method. And so we're going to collect the spat. And I'm in the practice mod, so you're going to see the little ray over there is where the button we're trying to hit is. I'm going to start with the easier method because that's probably where you should be starting. It's really easy to notice because of the button where the light is. But what you want to do, look at the top right of SpongeBob, and I'm going to try and get another one of those like eye things that I had the last time. Sorry, that one weird. Or you know what, let's try this. Where the arrow is, like the tip of the arrow, that's where you want to look at the top right of SpongeBob. So you can see like, there's like that crack. There's like this little rectangle and there's the crack. And you want to make sure SpongeBob is like slightly to the right of this little like edge in the geometry. And so yeah, I'm gonna put the arrow there. And what you want to do is once you have it lined up, bash and hold forward. Don't try and move forward or like move SpongeBob to get the angle right. Make sure that like you're moving the camera first and then this. And then what we do is the bowl. And if you did correctly, you could see we got the button. And then you would just walk over to the spat. So I'm gonna walk over here, I'm gonna reset, and I'm just gonna line it up again. This strat is super easy. And it's worth for beginners in my opinion because it only loses 5 seconds over doing the harder strat. And if you're doing a VMS route, it's basically guaranteed, or it's basically needed if you're doing Mermley. So line up slightly to the right, not too far off the ledge, like make sure, I would say his shoes don't look like they're going off the edge. Camera, bash, bowl. And you can see we got it. So I'm gonna line the camera up one more time, without the little thing shining in your face. And remember where the V is, the top right corner of SpongeBob. It's very lenient, so you don't have to like exactly line it up like this. You just kind of have to get in the general area. The harder one is a bit different, but that one's easy, and like I said, only loses around 5 seconds. So with this harder one, what you want to do, zoom your camera in, and then in terms of like where SpongeBob should be standing, make sure that like he's in the middle of the pole in his front to back spacing. There's 3 lines. Let me try and show you. There's like this front line that's really bright, this middle line that's a little darker, and then the really dark line in the back. Make sure that he's like in between the back 2 lines with the back of his heels. That's the best way that I can describe it, is like in between those lines. And then for the camera angle, make sure like this area, the big pole that we're standing on is to the left, and it's like barely touching the smaller pole up here. Don't have them like overlapping, like don't do this. Do something like this. This might even be a bit far to the right. And then what we want to do is we want to bash and hold forward, kind of like the easier method. And then hold bowl. Don't tap bowl this time. Hold it. And we barely didn't get it. Like, if you don't get it, then that's probably more or less a front to back spacing. Like, if it hits the Let me put this here again. If it hits the second pole over here, you're too far to the right. If it like bounces off and does like a big bounce, you're too far left. And you want it to like barely bounce. If it doesn't bounce at all and it like barely hits the pole, then you're probably like you're probably too far right. Like here, we're gonna try and charge it again. That one was too far left. So yeah, you kind of want the heels. I said like in between the back two lines. I probably meant like on the middle line. Didn't line your camera up. You barely want the big pole and the small pole to be touching. Then bash, hold forward. You can hold forward, or you could just like press the joystick, whatever works, or press the D-pad. I mean, but yeah. So I'm just gonna be lining this up for a while. It's a bit tougher than the easier one, like I said, and for the 5 seconds, it's much more worth it to go for the easier, in my opinion. So you can see like he's like in the middle of the pole, and he was like on that second line. So barely touching, bash, hold pole, and we got it. Almost. Sometimes it seems like it should get it and it doesn't. It's not, like I say, it's not super precise, but it's more precise than the easier method. Now I would say if you didn't get it and you don't know why, and the ball was like going on the right place on the pole, then I would say you're too far back on the pole or too far forward. If it just bounces over the pole and doesn't get it, like let's say that was probably too far back. But like let's say you're way up here and it does like this, you're probably too far forward. Now this might be a little bit of like a left to right spacing. I might be a bit too far to the left. Let's try again now. So you can see like that one didn't even hit it. That means you're too far right. I'm not the best at this trick, but I hope that by me showing you like everything that can go wrong with it, that really helps. Because some of them are gonna get it and you can just replicate whatever I get that gets it. Others won't. Like that one got it. And so yeah. First, whenever you miss it, check the pole to see if it was too far left or too far right. And then check your front to back spacing. You want to be like at the back of the second line that I showed off of. And this kind of goes without saying, whenever you're bashing, make sure you're holding straight forward and not like slightly to the right like this or slightly to the left. Straight on. This is the line of SpongeBob's angle once we get the first part of it. Some other points you can use, there's this little thing in the right of the screen. Like this little stop thing on the very far right. If that is on screen, you're probably too far to the right. So move your camera angle a bit more left. It's okay if it's like barely on the screen like this. I don't even know you can see that, but you don't want it like on screen that much. That one was probably too far. I don't know on that one. Too far right. So yeah, like I would say barely have it off the screen. or else like very barely have it on. Looks like we're going too far right with this camera angle. It's not like the most precise thing on... I say that a lot, but I thought this was like the most precise, like pixel perfect trick in the game. And it's really not. It just takes a lot of getting used to. I don't know what that one was, but it didn't get it, so. It takes a lot of getting used to. But once you get it down, it's actually pretty easy. So yeah, it's the more early tutorial. We're gonna line up one more time for you. If you like this tutorial, then be sure to check out my Goo Cage Bash tutorial. And just check out other things on my channel. And I hope to see you in another tutorial, and hope you have a good day. What's up with the spat, by the way, here? But yeah. Alright. Yo, what's up, Scream Share? I just did a simple